Today we are back with an exciting, juicy, honest, raw, informational video. Today I'm going to be talking about Skylark, Atlanta, the apartment building. I'm going to go over some general information to start off with, and then I'll get into my empty apartment tour and go over like all the grounds, the properties, like the gym, the office, all the amenities. And then I'm gonna get into the tea. I'm gonna talk about the pros and cons of living there. Since I did spend almost 2 years at the property, I got a few things to say, and I'm coming with the receipts. I'm really just gonna speak my truth. Lastly, I'm going to be ending the video with just my overall general opinion. I'm gonna try my best to be non-biased throughout this, but I think that as the video goes on, you'll see where my bias starts to trickle in. Go ahead and use the timestamps below to skip to the part you want if you're just interested in one part. And I will say that I kind of go fast through the apartment empty tour because I do have another video that is a fully furnished apartment tour, and I do go way deeper into like all the details of the unit. So if that's what you're most interested in, definitely take this video and give it a watch, but you have to check out my fully furnished video, and I'll definitely drop it in the corner around here. Check the description, you'll have the timestamps in there as well as other related videos, including my fully furnished apartment. So let's get into it. Let's start with the general basic information. So Skylark Atlanta is a brand new apartment complex. It was built in 2020. It's located at 1099 Boulevard, Southeast Atlanta, Georgia 30312. It is marketed as Grant Park, but it is technically Chosewood Park, which I didn't know. Like when I moved to Atlanta, I did not know what that meant. If you're from Atlanta, you probably know what it means. I moved into this apartment when I first moved to Atlanta, but I'm gonna get to my personal information in a second. We're gonna keep going. So it's 15 minutes from the airport. It's one exit east of downtown. It's really close to Edgewood and the 5 Points area. Pretty convenient to that. It's a very centrally located, I'll say that. As of August 1st, their current rent for a 1-bedroom is $1,605. That's 722 square feet, the A4 floor plan, and then a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, $2,163. That was the B5, 1,310 square feet. And then they also have corporate leases, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later, but it's like storefronts, and those are live workspaces, but it's really just like workspaces. There's not like a live space, but anyways, those start at $1,175 for 665 square feet. I looked at the Z1 floor plan for that. So that's just a kind of some basic information about Skylark. This is the end of my first place in Atlanta. Nostalgic, like it's sad. I feel sad. I feel like I want to cry, but I don't know if it's just because of this or because of all that life is putting me through. But here's to a new chapter. Okay, that is the main road. This is technically city property, so you can park on this part for free, and if any accidents or in past cases people get killed on this road, it's not their responsibility. All right, walking this way, we have the marketing center, office, and gym over there. And then this is what is the pool area and community area. They painted that so pretty, I'm not gonna lie. Clearly, I've probably went to this pool twice. Here are the hours. It's hot as hell in here. Definitely not comfy. And this is the pool area. If you notice, up there are the 2 bedrooms, so they're 2 floors. And then this is the grilling area. It's giving retro, I guess. It's kind of cute, but I guess I'm just over it. I'll be walking through the office/marketing area. Okay, this is gonna connect to the very tiny but new gym. Since this is a new property, all the equipment is new. So gym, office, apartments. Up here, mailroom. Wow. Package and mailroom. Main Street. All the storefronts, from tobacco stores, boutiques, cleaning places. This is a cute little neighborhood over there, but if you go at the end of the street is the federal prison, and we have a lot of crime in this area. This way they're building a new apartment building, and Grant Park, aka the zoo, is literally like a half a mile down the road. But this is an overview of the Skylark Atlanta. I'm gonna talk about why I chose to live at Skylark originally. So mind you, this was when I was moving from Minnesota to Atlanta. I had basically never been to Atlanta. I was flying back and forth apartment hunting. I did do a tour there. I did not tour my exact unit before moving in, but I did do a tour there. And I will say they're 2 bedrooms. Also note that they're 2 floors and their ceilings are really high. So their 2 bedrooms are really nice there. I guess I chose it because first off, the rent at the time was only $1,280. Mind you, I'm telling you now, 2 years later, it's $1,600 for the same unit. And I was the first person to live in this unit. Also, they offered me 2 months free. So being the first person to move there, literally they were at like 20% occupancy when I moved in. So you get the idea. It was like a brand new apartment. The inside of the unit was beautiful. I was sold on that. I was sold on the location. The high ceilings, that's what really sold me. Like, it was so new that our mail boxes weren't even set up yet. Like, we would have to go get our mail from the office. So it was a very, very new community. Like I mentioned, I signed my lease without ever seeing my units, and I wasn't mad. The only thing that kind of was like about my unit was that the bathroom was located in the bedroom, and that was the only way to access it. Luckily, I didn't ever really have guests over because I didn't know anybody, but that's really not ideal for an apartment to have people go to your bedroom to access the only bathroom. But other than that, I loved my unit. I'm not gonna lie, as you'll find out later. Unit. Okay, so my lease was from August 10th 2020. It was a 13-month lease, and then after that I switched to a month-to-month, and I just moved out August 1st. So I literally was there for 2 full years. So that's some kind of background information. We're gonna move on to the pros. We'll start on a good note. So first off, kind of how I mentioned before, it's centrally located, and it's close to like a Target, really close to downtown. Literally nothing is far unless you're trying to go to Buckhead during traffic, which is where I live now. It can be like a 30-minute drive, but with no traffic it's like a 17-minute drive. The location, as far as just a geographic map, black and white viewpoint, it was a good location. It's also right on the Beltline, so I know that's probably a huge selling point for a lot of people. And it's right next to the zoo, right next to Grant Park. Like literally, you can walk to Grant Park. It's on the same street as Grant Park. It's like literally in the city. It's 1 exit from downtown. Like, I used to work at a restaurant downtown, and it would take me 6 minutes to get to work any day of the week, anytime. So location. The next thing that was really big for me was the value. Like $1,280 for a brand new, beautiful, state-of-the-art unit. Like, I wasn't gonna beat that. Like, one thing I cannot complain about, and I'm going to get to complaining, but I have to keep in mind I was paying $1,280, so I don't know why I had those expectations. At first, I was paying $1,280 at first for my first year. After that, I switched to a month-to-month lease, and my rent went up $300 a month for my month-to-month. So I went from $1,280 to like $1,580. But with the bill, okay, let me just not even get, I'm gonna wait to get to the cons to talk about the fees and stuff. But yeah, so it definitely was good value at the time. Right now, I'm gonna tell you it's not worth the value. The value has plummeted. Another pro, this isn't something that I took advantage of, but I will tell you, they have so many community events. I'm talking about food trucks. Every month they would have like kickball games, they would have pool parties, they would have like virtual like pick up supplies in the office and make it at home, drinks, plants, like all types of art projects. Like, they always, every single week had a community event, and I've never even experienced or been at a place that had so much, that they did so much. So I definitely have to note that, even though I didn't ever take advantage of it. Another thing is their maintenance team, A1. I'm not gonna lie, I loved them. They would literally be there to fix your unit within 24 hours. They always called you ahead of time. They were very respectful, timely. They did a good job, very reasonable. I really appreciated the maintenance team. A1 maintenance team, and that's important. So that's the end of my pros list, and I just want to say my favorite thing about it was my actual unit. Like, it was beautiful, as you guys will see, and I still miss it to this day because I had so much room. The high ceilings made it look so much bigger. The huge bar, like it was just, I will forever love that unit itself. Now I'm gonna get into the cons. So first off, the parking. Okay, parking, it's an open parking lot. However, like a couple months into my lease, they decided to make it through like Park Ease, an app where we would have to register our guests, and we got a parking pass. I don't even think that we were charged for this service, but it was so inconvenient. How it works is basically you have to register your guests, like first name, last name, license plate, and they were on it with the boots, and it's $75 a boot. I even had a friend get booted when they literally were registered. First they tried to claim, oh, they were in handicap, and I'm like, no, they weren't. And then they were like, oh, my bad. They did come get the boots off like within an hour, I would say, and it was $75 per day, but they were so thirsty to boot your car. Now here's the catch. Literally, you only get 72 hours of guest passes a week. So if you have a significant other that's coming to stay the night, he can only be there 3 nights a week. Let's say you have your significant other and then you have a friend come over too, or 2 friends, like 72 hours per week total. You could do like 1 hour, 2 hour, 3, 4, 8, 12, 24-hour passes. So that I just felt like was, why am I limited to how many guests I can have over? And if that's the case, make it so that we can pay for more parking. Like, you can't even buy more parking. And it's like annoying because there's signs up that like make it seem like you can register your vehicle, pay for parking like normal, but you can't. Like, it literally doesn't make sense. So the parking was not it at all. The bills, like, I understand paying bills, but I'm gonna put my welcome letter right here too, so that you guys can see like what I was signed up to pay. So it's pretty typical, but I will say that my bills were really high. Like, I was paying probably around $200 to $300 a month in bills for one person, and I feel like that's in my internet. You know, I had that COVID internet, $9.99 a month. Like, that was not it. Every time my ledger, and this is not including another $100, I paid my Georgia Power would be $100 every month. My bills were $1,700, $1,600. Mind you, for a rent that's $1,280. How does it go from $1,300 to $1,700 plus a $100 power bill? Like, I was literally paying like $500 a month in bills. And I just felt like that was a little bit excessive. I really didn't feel like, even times like my water, my sewer bill, like they would fluctuate so much. It just, the math was not mathing, and I feel like something fishy was going on with the bills for sure. I was paying $1,700 every single month for the past year that I lived there, and that place is barely worth $1,700, especially when they're trying to market it as $1,280 for me. So someone who's paying $1,600 moving in, they're probably easily paying almost $2,000 a month. You know, that's crazy. It's not worth $2,000 a month, because where I live now, I pay over $2,000 a month, and my bills, my rent ledger will be like no more than $80 extra for all the bills. Okay, another con. Their amenities are like very basic, like as basic as can be, couldn't be more basic. I'm like, you'll see them on the tour, but like, there's like a community room, there's a printer in the mail room, you pay for printing, there's like a pool, like it, you know what, I guess it's basic. It's just basic. It's not really a con. It's just neither here nor there. It's not really notable. But let me get into the real problem, okay? Y'all, I made a whole video that I haven't posted, but I probably should post now, and I will post now, of me deciding to move, because my anxiety was becoming like paranoia because I felt so unsafe there. And after like so much happened, like there was so much happening there. I'm talking about car break-ins, left and right. Literally, I'm gonna insert some of the messages from our office, and I know they didn't even send us out a message every single time it happened, and they would like downplay what really happened. Like literally, I think like a couple months ago, this kid literally died. R.I.P.
In the middle of the night, Atlanta police say a 15-year-old and 17-year-old were breaking into cars at the Skylark apartments. Police say instead of a security guard stopping the boys, it was a Skylark resident who saw them by his car. An APD officer tells CBS 46 that the man confronted the two boys, who then pulled out a gun. The neighbor had his own firearm and gunshots were exchanged, according to police reports. The neighbor shot both of the teens. When police found the teens, one was dead, the other hurt.
Outside my apartment complex, okay? Literally, and then the office literally just wrote us a letter saying like, oh, there was an incident, yada, 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 make sure you guys are being safe. And on several occasions, basically what's been happening is there's car break-ins. My neighbors are shooting warning shots in the air, and usually that scares them off. But in this incident, the person who was breaking into cars shot back, and they got in a full shootout. Now after this, I have a ring, I get a phone call on my Ring alarm system, and it's my neighbor saying there's a bullet hole through my patio, and I think it's coming from your house.
Hello?
Hey, I'm just your neighbor on the right side, and it looks like there might be a hole from like a gunshot in my patio, but if it is, it would have came through your apartment, so I was just trying to see if you heard something last night, because there was some gunshots, but I didn't know it was that close.
Wow. Yeah, the office had emailed us saying that something had happened last night, but I wasn't there.
I'm like, and then we went and we called the office, right? We tell the office like, yo, there's a bullet hole. Acting, they was playing dumb. Like there wasn't a whole shootout that someone got killed. Like they knew that there was a shootout that night in the parking lot. Like it happened multiple times. So they knew it was a shootout, and then they still are gonna ask. They had the audacity to say, are you sure that wasn't there? What? Am I sure that a bullet hole wasn't through my patio? Yes! When you knew that there was a fucking shootout? Come on now. And then when I called him out on it, like, what is wrong with you? Why would you say that? You're literally gaslighting me when you know what's going on. I already feel unsafe, and now I feel even more unsafe to know that you guys are trying to cover up what's going on. Like, obviously it's part of your job, but then the office ladies always try to take the, like they play like bad cop, good cop with the girl and the guy in the office. Like the girl be like, oh, I understand as a woman, I live here too, yada, yada, yada. Like, girl, no, I was not buying it. And I already had, after the first incident, I had told them, mind you, I lived on the first floor. Oh my God, I gotta tell y'all the story of the first time that I ever seen the first incident. Okay, so check this. I'm in my bedroom. I'm on the first floor. I look up, or I hear something. I look out the window. Bro, when I tell you, it was automatics. It was like 4 guys standing in the woods, like 50 feet away from where I'm laying my head. And they were literally shooting into the woods, okay? I'm just moved to Atlanta. I'm scared. I never really seen nothing like that. I literally run, I'm scared. Not only am I scared, I feel like I just witnessed a murder, and that they seen me, seen them, and that they're gonna come for me next. And my patio door is right there to kick in. Like, it's nowhere for me to go. So I literally go and lay in my bathtub, and I'm that scared. Like, that's literally what I was going through there. And that was within like my first couple months there. So it was just a lot of violence going on in the neighborhood. And with that being said, it's crazy because it's basically gentrification. And I've heard a lot about gentrification, but I never got to witness it in the way I got to witness it living here. Because, okay, so it's like our apartment is here, right? The zoo right here, and then it's like off the freeway, right? So this way is pretty nice. You would never notice anything. But if you go this way, at the end of the block, like all the way where you can't go no more, is the federal prison. And then I heard that there's this place called the Four Seasons. I don't know what that is, but I heard that it's a projects over there that's like well known. If you're from Atlanta, you probably know what the Four Seasons is. But apparently they just built this shit right in the middle of the hood, and made it look real pretty for people like me who are like, oh, this is nice. No, I mean the hood. Like, they got me, and I felt very unsafe. Even like, I do bottle service, as you guys know, so I would feel unsafe from coming home from work with $1,000 in my bag, walking from my patio to my car. It was to the points where I was literally like, I would park far on the other side of the building and go through the building and walk through the building just so that people wouldn't see me going into my patio and know where I live. Like, I was getting mad paranoid living there, and I have to like, I have to tell my story on that. It was not good. They were really petty with evictions and late rents. Like, I get it, we should all pay our rent on time, but the way they stated these emails did not make it clear. They charge you a $300 late fee on midnight at the 1st, like going into the 2nd. Like, if you don't pay your rent on the 1st, by midnight, you get the $300 late fee. Like, most places will give you to the 3rd. I'm from Minnesota, I'm used to having to the 5th. So like, literally, bam, $300 late fee. So I felt like that was like thirsty. Like, that was just not it. And then they like kept switching the way we had to pay our rent. And at the end, they were making it so we literally would have to like go to CVS and pay on MoneyGram. Like, it was not it. I did not like it. So overall, the worst part about living there was I felt very unsafe, to be honest. I loved the unit, but I just wish it was somewhere else, because I would tell people where I lived, like, or someone would come over, they'd be like, dang, you live in the hood. I'm like, really? Like, yo. And people from Minnesota that would come and be like, oh, this is nice. I'm like, yeah. Like, it's crazy. It's all about like perception versus reality, because I would have never known I was literally in the hood. Like, if you go to the gas station this way, it's a little hood. If you go to the gas station that way, it's crackheads galore, like tweakers 24/7. Like, it's crazy. So yeah, my overall opinion on Skylark is it's a very nice place to thug it out. Okay, no, I really don't have nothing against them. It wasn't anything like that bad. It was just like not good for my mental health. I did not feel safe. I was paranoid. I had bad anxiety. And since moving, all of that has subsided. Like, I was not sleeping at night. I was having nightmares. Like, I don't know if it was just a me thing. So I'm just telling y'all my experience. Definitely let me know if you have questions, comments, similar experiences. If you enjoyed this video, I appreciate you. Please subscribe. I'm getting so close to being monetized. So I appreciate you guys. And I hope you have a great day. I have a moving day vlog too that's coming out, so stay tuned. I have a lot of good videos on the way, as well as some apartment tours, because as you guys obviously know, I'm boo. Let's do the view. Yeah. I should do a full apartment tour here, huh? Ain't much to see. It's small as hell, boy. All right.